It started with a single video, a blurry, shaky clip that was never meant to leave the shadows of the internet. But the moment it leaked, the world stopped breathing. The headlines exploded, fans panicked, and millions of people watched the same 15 seconds again and again while their hearts shattered for one woman, Kandi Burruss. In the clip, Kandi Burruss looked pregnant. Tiki that I stood close to her, closer than any married man should ever stand to another woman, and the internet turned that moment into a storm that no one could escape. People whispered betrayal, people screamed lies, people laughed at the drama, but inside Tiny's chest something broke so quietly that only she could feel it. The next morning during a live show, producers played the viral clip without warning. Tiny smiled at first, not knowing what was coming. But when the camera zoomed in on the screen, when she saw Kandi's stomach and T did I standing beside her, the smile on Tiny's face died in slow motion. Her eyes filled with disbelief. Her breath froze. The world watched a woman collapse on live television. Not from weakness, but from a pain so deep that it tore through her soul. Clips of her falling went viral within minutes. Sad music edits, slow motion cuts, comments flooded with heartbreak emojis. People who never met Tiny cried for her. They felt her pain. They felt her betrayal. They felt the loneliness of a woman who gave everything and still ended up bleeding in front of millions. Yet the truth behind that clip remained unclear. Was it betrayal? Was it manipulation? Or was someone plotting to destroy her entire world? No one knew, but one thing was certain. Tiny Burruss was breaking. It was supposed to be a normal evening in Atlanta, the kind of quiet night where celebrities hide behind tinted windows and the city keeps its secrets. But everything changed at 11:47 p.m. when a blurry 15-second clip appeared on an anonymous gossip page. A clip so explosive that the entire internet felt like it had been slapped awake. A clip that carried the power to destroy a family, break a woman's heart, and drag a marriage into the fire. The video showed Kandi Burruss stepping out of a black SUV. She looked tired, stressed, and strangely protective of her stomach. She placed her hand over it like she was shielding something. And right behind her, standing too close, walking too comfortably, was Ty. People zoomed in. People slowed it down. People added sad filters and dramatic captions. Within minutes, the comments were full of screaming theories. Is Kandi pregnant? Why is T do I with her? Where is Tiny? But the worst comment, the one that spread like poison, was the one that said it the loudest. T do I got Kandi pregnant. That sentence cracked the internet in half. Screenshots flew everywhere. Pages reposted it. Fake news accounts started making mini documentaries. Bloggers used crying emojis and shock faces to get more clicks. It was chaos. Pure chaos. But the real storm did not start outside. It started inside the heart of one woman, Tiny Burruss. Inside her home, Tiny was sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. She had no idea what was coming. She tapped on a notification, and the moment the clip opened, her breath froze. Her face went pale. The room around her disappeared. All she could see was Kandi touching her stomach and Teddy walking beside her with a relaxed smile that felt like a knife pushed gently into her chest. In that moment, Tiny did not cry. She did not scream. She did not collapse. She just stared at the screen, forcing herself to breathe, while the sound of her heartbeat grew louder than the audio in the video. She whispered to herself, "This cannot be real," but the world was already treating it as truth. Her phone kept vibrating. Friends were texting. Producers were calling. Messages were flooding in from every direction. People were asking her if the rumors were true. People were asking if her marriage had exploded. People were sending her the clip again and again, like they were trying to make sure she did not miss her own heartbreak. Tiny stood up slowly, like her legs were made of glass. She walked into the bathroom and locked the door. Only then did she allow the first tear to fall. A silent tear, a painful tear, a tear that carried the weight of years of loyalty, years of trust, years of sacrifices that no one knew about. She pressed her hand against the mirror and whispered, "Why would he do this to me?" Meanwhile, miles away, Kandi was also watching the internet burn. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Headlines were popping up. People were dragging her name into the biggest scandal of the year. She sat on the edge of her bed, confused, exhausted, and terrified. She whispered, "What have they done? What is this?" Because she knew one thing for sure. She was not pregnant. Someone wanted to make it look like she was. Someone wanted to ignite a war. And they succeeded. By morning, producers from a live talk show decided to feature the viral clip. They said it was the hottest topic of the week. They said the audience would love it. They said drama sells. Tiny arrived at the show unaware that the producers were planning to show the clip live on screen. She sat in the chair with a polite smile. Her hair perfect, her makeup flawless, her heart broken. As the cameras started rolling, she forced herself to stay calm. She told herself she could survive one interview. She told herself she could breathe through the pain. She told herself she would not let the world see her fall apart. But then the host said, "Tiny, we want to show you something." The internet cannot stop talking about this, and the clip appeared on the giant screen. The moment she saw it again, the world around her collapsed. The lights blurred. The audience disappeared. The room spun. She stared at the screen like it was a weapon pointed directly at her, her eyes filled with tears that she could not hold back anymore. The host said something. The audience gasped, but Tiny heard nothing. She only heard the sound of her own heart ripping in two. She whispered, "Please turn it off, please." But her voice was too soft. No one heard her. The clip kept playing. The camera zoomed in on her reaction. The world watched a woman break in real time. A woman who had given everything. A woman who did not deserve this pain. Within minutes, the footage of Tiny crying went viral. Edits with sad music appeared everywhere. People compared the clip to a tragic movie scene. Some called her strong, some called her broken, some called her a victim of betrayal, but no one knew the real truth. No one knew that someone was playing a dangerous game. Someone wanted chaos. Someone wanted heartbreak. Someone wanted to destroy Tiny, Kandi, and Tidui all at once. And the worst part was that the person behind the leak was still hidden, still watching, still smiling. Tiny wiped her tears backstage. She felt numb, empty, lost. She whispered to herself, "I need to know the truth. I need to know who did this." And that was the moment the tragedy turned into a mission. A mission for answers, a mission for justice, a mission that would uncover secrets darker than the internet could imagine. But for now, Tiny did not go home after the live show. She could not. Her house felt like a battlefield waiting to swallow her whole. Her heart was already bleeding. Her mind pulled apart by rumors, by millions of comments, by the loud echo of that horrible video. She kept replaying it in her head until her breathing became uneven. The way T did die stood beside Kandi. The way Kandi's hand rested against her stomach. The way the camera angle made it look like something intimate had happened. And the world believed it. Everyone believed it. They turned Tiny's pain into entertainment and called it breaking news. She sat backstage in the dark, hugging herself, whispering, "Why would he do this to me? Why would she lie to me?" She trusted both of them. She loved both of them. She never imagined that they, of all people, would be the ones to break her so brutally. Then her phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number appeared, glowing like poison in the dim room. "You deserve truth." Tiny's eyes widened. Attached was a second video. With trembling fingers, she pressed play. This angle was clearer, darker, more dangerous. It showed Kandi waiting beside the SUV, her face nervous. Then Tidui stepped out close to her, whispering something. He placed his hand on her shoulder. She touched her stomach again. The camera zoomed slightly, making everything look worse. Tiny's heart cracked open again. "Please stop. Please stop," she whispered, even though the video had already ended. Before she could breathe, another message arrived. "If you want the full truth, come alone." It included an address, a cold, empty parking lot, the kind of place where secrets are buried. Tiny stared at it. Her heart screamed no, but her soul begged yes. She needed answers. She needed something real. She needed to know whether her life was collapsing because of reality or because of someone else's evil plan. She slipped out the back door of the building, hiding her face with a hood. Paparazzi were waiting at the main gate, flashes ready, hungry for more tears. Tiny escaped without being seen. Minutes later, she sat in the car staring out the window. Streetlights blurred through her tears. The world outside felt unfamiliar, cruel, cold. People were posting memes of her collapse, pretending to cry while laughing in the comments, calling her weak. They did not know what it felt like to have your heart crushed on live television. The car stopped. The parking lot was quiet, almost abandoned. A single flickering light buzzed overhead. Tiny stepped out slowly. Her footsteps echoed, bouncing off the empty walls. Her stomach twisted in fear. Then she saw someone standing in the shadows, a familiar silhouette, a woman. As the figure stepped forward, Tiny froze. Kandi. Kandi Burruss stood in front of her, tears in her own eyes, looking exhausted and broken. Nothing like the confident woman Tiny knew. Tiny's voice cracked. "Did you send those videos? Did you leak them? Why are you here?" Kandi shook her head slowly. "Tiny, I swear to you, I did not leak anything. I did not send those messages. I did not betray you." Tiny felt anger rise inside her. "Then explain the video. Explain why the world thinks you are pregnant with my husband's child." Candy's lip trembled. "Because someone wants us destroyed. Someone edited that clip. Someone made it look like something happened." Tiny's voice lowered. "Then why were you with him at night?" Kandi looked down ashamed. "Do I told me not to tell you yet? He said he was trying to protect you. He was fixing something for you. I thought he had already explained it to you." Before Tiny could speak, the sound of an engine cut through the silence. A black SUV rolled into the parking lot, the same SUV from the clips. The door opened. I stepped out looking tense, tired, guilty, confused. "Tiny," he said quietly, "you should not be here." Tiny felt her chest tighten. "Then tell me the truth. Tell me right now why everyone thinks you are cheating on me. Tell me why Kandi looked pregnant. Tell me why the world is calling me a fool." I opened his mouth to answer, but before a single word came out, a bright flash exploded behind them. A camera. Someone was recording. Someone had been hiding. Someone was waiting. Kandi gasped. Tot spun around angrily. Tiny's heart dropped to the ground. From the shadows, a figure slowly stepped forward. And in that moment, all three understood one horrifying truth. The betrayal they feared was nothing compared to the betrayal that was about to reveal itself. Tiny's world had already collapsed before she stepped into that dark parking lot, but nothing could have prepared her for what awaited. Every step echoed like a drumbeat of her own heartbreak. The wind whispered against her hood, carrying fragments of the rumors, the clips, the memes that had turned her life into a public spectacle. She felt exposed, stripped bare in a way no one should ever feel. Her chest ached, and every beat of her heart seemed to scream betrayal. Kandi Burruss stood a few feet ahead, illuminated by the flickering streetlights. She looked exhausted, her eyes heavy with worry and confusion. Tiny's lips trembled as she whispered, "Kandi, what's going on? Why am I here? Why did they send me these messages?" Her voice broke in the cold air, fragile like shattered glass. Candy's gaze fell to the ground. She shook her head slowly. "Tiny, I swear I had nothing to do with this. I didn't leak the videos. Someone is playing with us. Someone wants to destroy us all." Tiny's stomach tightened. Her thoughts raced. The world had already turned against them. Fans had assumed the worst. Headlines screamed betrayal. Memes mocked her collapse on live television, and social media was a feeding ground for their humiliation. But the clips, Tiny's voice cracked. "Everyone thinks, everyone believes it. It's everywhere. How is this happening?" Candy's hand rested gently on Tiny's shoulder. "Because someone knows how to manipulate the world, Tiny. They made it look real. But it isn't." Before either of them could process the words, a car engine hummed in the distance. The black SUV from the clips slowly rolled into the lot, headlights cutting through the darkness. Tiny's chest constricted, her knees nearly buckling. I stepped out, hoodie pulled tight over his head, jaw clenched, eyes darting between them. "Tiny." His voice was low, full of tension, exhaustion, and fear. "You shouldn't be here." Tiny's lips pressed together, tears threatening to spill. "Then tell me the truth, Ty. Tell me why the world thinks you betrayed me. Tell me why Kandi looks pregnant. Tell me why everyone hates me. Ted, I took a step forward, but before he could speak, a bright flash lit the lot. Another camera, another observer, and from the shadows, a figure. Kandi's eyes blazed. You edited the clip. You made it look like something happened between me and Ty. You destroyed our lives. Shekinah tilted her head. Destroyed? No. Revealed. I just held the mirror up. They were waiting for it. They wanted to believe it. You all forgot about me, and now they are finally paying attention. Tiny's tears fell freely. You broke me. You made the world watch me collapse. Do you understand what you did? Shekinah's gaze was unwavering. I understand everything, and I understand that attention is power, and tonight I am powerful. T.I.'s hands clenched into fists. This isn't power. This is cruelty. This is hurting people who love you. Shekinah's eyes softened for just a heartbeat, a flicker of regret that vanished immediately. Love. Love doesn't trend. T-pain trends. Heartbreak trends. And right now, Tiny's heartbreak is the most viral story on the internet. Tiny's heart sank deeper. Every word was another blade cutting her down. Every flash of light, every camera click felt like her life was being stolen in pieces. How could you do this? She whispered, her voice breaking. I trusted you. I loved you. And you. You made this my nightmare. Before anyone could speak, the distant sound of tires screeching pierced the air. Another car approached. A reporter stepped out, MIC in hand, red recording light blinking. We are live, he announced. America wants to know, Tiny Harris, is the pregnancy rumor true? Did your husband betray you with your closest friend? Tiny's world froze. The rain had begun to fall lightly, soaking her hood, her hair, her tears. The microphone felt like a blade pointed directly at her soul. Every camera, every phone, every flash had become a weapon against her. The world had turned her life into entertainment, her heartbreak into a show. Kandi stepped forward protectively. Ty moved closer. Tiny looked around, dizzy and exhausted. The storm of betrayal, rumors, edits, screenshots, and fake news had reached its climax. The pain was unbearable, raw, and public. The humiliation was complete. The world had turned against her, and she realized with a chilling clarity that truth no longer mattered. Only spectacle did. Only drama did. Only the story the world wanted to hear would survive. Tiny's lips trembled as she whispered softly, almost to herself. My life, my pain, it's not mine anymore. It belongs to them, to the cameras, to the internet. She sank to her knees as rain poured over her. Kandi held her. Tadai stood protectively beside them, fists clenched, heartbreaking. And Shekinah, phone still in hand, finally lowered her gaze, seeing the destruction she had caused. In that moment, the world outside continued to watch, to speculate, to dissect. Tiny's truth, Kandi's innocence. T. Dewey's loyalty, none of it mattered. Only the viral storm, only the tragedy made for clicks, views, and endless scrolling. And in the dark parking lot, under the dim street lights, surrounded by betrayal, lies, cameras, and the relentless public gaze, Tiny realized something terrifying. The world had decided her story, her heartbreak, her life, and there was no going back. Before you scroll past, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would you do if the world decided your heartbreak was its entertainment? What if every tear you shed, every moment of weakness was broadcast for millions to dissect, mock, and manipulate? This story isn't just gossip. It's not just a scandal. It's a window into the raw, unfiltered human pain behind the headlines. Tiny's life, her trust, her love. It was ripped apart in front of cameras, captured, shared, and twisted into viral content. And the question remains, what is real and what is crafted for clicks? You've seen the collapse. You've felt the tension. You've watched betrayal unfold in slow motion. But now it's time to join the conversation. Your voice matters. Share your thoughts. Did T.I. betray Tiny? Was Kandi innocent or part of a bigger plan? Who is really responsible for this?